Black world and the Black business school. I'm going to take 1 second to give a quick update and some quick analysis on my thoughts on some of these reparations hearings and all this talk about reparations that suddenly just happens to start and begin right when the Democrats are about to start coming asking Black people to show up to the polls. Souls to the polls, y'all. You know how they do. You know how they do. They play some rap music and put it on a chicken commercial and get you to come out and vote for them so they can promise you the world, like that college frat boy who's trying to get a piece of ass and ain't called you in 3 months. Yeah, that's pretty much what the Democrats are doing right now, and they're doing it to us, and they always do it to us because we get bamboozled every election cycle. That's kind of how it works. But you know, hey, if you want to be bamboozled, then this ain't the place for you. DrBoyceTV.com is the home for intelligent Black people, and this is a space where critical analysis is encouraged. Freedom of thought is an absolute must, and progress for our community is very, very important. So if you're not progressive, if you believe in freedom of thought and freedom of expression, and you don't believe in using those brain cells in your skull, then this is not your home. This is not where you need to be. You need to go over to World Star somewhere, go listen to your favorite rapper or whatever who's going to feed you some ignorance, because you ain't going to get it up in here. All right, so before we get started, I have to actually give a shout out. I have a special guest who wants to pop in and say hello. Taylor, where are you, sweetheart? Would you like to come out and say hi? There she is, and she is dropping in to surprise you guys. She wanted to stop in to say hello. Taylor is she's one of our little Black millionaires of tomorrow, and we have been training on economic intelligence. I told you guys the future for our community is to teach our children to be better than us. And so I've been pushing her and teaching her about whether using our financial flashcards and everything else. So Taylor, would you like to say hi? What would you like to say?
Oh, hi. Taylor, I have voice on.
Yes, what would you like to say? What? I can't hear you, but it sounds really funny, and we can talk about it afterward. Okay? Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
All right. All right. So we got to include our kids in what we're doing because they really are the future. Because your old ass is going to be dead pretty soon. And so Taylor and I, we go through financial concepts every other day. The kids kind of know in the house. If you want anything from me, if you want a pair of shoes, if you want to go to McDonald's, if you want to go to the movies, if you want to stop somewhere on the way home and get a pair of socks at Target, I don't care what it is you want to do. You have to impress me with your knowledge, your financial knowledge. One of the fundamental principles that we learn is that people who are not educated and prepared for the future are the ones who fall behind. So when Black people run away from education, what we're doing is we're running towards slavery. We are running away from freedom. We're running away from our greatness. We're running away from our possibilities. So that's what I believe. That's what we do. That's what we talk about on a regular basis. Now, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Tyler and Strawberry 32, Anthony Bolton, Floral Expressions. Please hit the thumbs up button. And also shout out your city. I want to see what cities you're from. Shout out your city. I'll be in Chicago July 28th, by the way, for our investing seminar. So on the 28th of July. And also I'll be in New Orleans next week. So if you want to go to either one of those places and join us in the seminar, New Orleans is a 2-day event. Chicago is a full 1-day event. So if you'd like to join either one, go to Dr. Boyce New Orleans or drboycechicago.com, and you can actually look up the tickets and decide if you want to participate. It's going to be an awesome event. In all cases, all of our events are very, very good, and it's amazing for everybody who's there. So I see Philadelphia, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Portsmouth, Virginia, Springfield, Missouri, Cali, Oaktown, Raleigh, North Carolina, London, UK. I'm going to London in a few weeks, actually. Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's see what else. Peoria, Illinois, the Bronx, Rancho Cucamonga, California. What's going on, Derek Glover, Black real estate investor from Owensboro, Kentucky. All right, my man. Good to hear, brother. I'm so happy for you. Seattle, Indianapolis, Alabama, Columbus, Florida. And somebody says they're from Mars. See, y'all need to get the hell up out of here with that shit. Get out of here with that, all that lying and stuff. Anyway, okay, so but there are people that believe Black people actually like from other planets and all that. You got to convince me. I need evidence, right? Which makes me different from our judicial system, because they'll lock a Black man up without evidence. Go look up freealbertwilson.com and you will see a young college student who was arrested for a rape that never happened. The girl wanted to have sex with him. He said no. Next thing you know, she screamed rape, no proof whatsoever. He got 12 years. So locking up a Black man does not require evidence. That's one of the luxuries of white privilege. So let's talk about this reparations thing. Okay, so today on Capitol Hill, they decided to get together and talk about that which was previously unspeakable, that which the Congressional Black Caucus and most other politicians on Capitol Hill fully ignored and really didn't talk much about. Dr. Claude Anderson, if you know Dr. Claude Anderson, the author of the book Powernomics, and also Black Labor, White Wealth. Those are two excellent books. First, those should be the first two books your children ever read. I'm telling you, those should be the first two books your kids read. Dr. Claude Anderson has been fighting for reparations for many, many decades. Now, Dr. Anderson is going to come in to drboycetv.com tomorrow, which is Thursday the 20th. He'll be here at 2 p.m. Eastern, or actually 2:15-ish, because, you know, Dr. Anderson comes in and he's going to start when he wants to start. I'm not going to push the elder and force him to get started quickly. I give him time to kind of relax a little bit and get ready. But Dr. Anderson's going to come through and bless us with his insight into this. The real hearings, reparations, will occur right here on this channel. They're not happening on Capitol Hill. Dr. Claude Anderson, he doesn't just talk about it. He is about it. He's lived it. He has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own money out of his own pocket filing lawsuits for reparations, starting most particularly with the 1866 Indian Treaty, which is a treaty that the U.S. government straight up violated, which is a treaty that says black people are owed billions of dollars worth of land and resources that they were never given. According to Dr. Anderson, all those Native American reservations that are out there, a lot of black folks should be owning those reservations. That's just real. Go look it up. 1866 Indian Treaty. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Talk black to me. Anybody heard about the 1866 Indian Treaty? Have you heard about that? If you don't know about it, you need to know about it, because that's one area, just one of thousands, one of tens of thousands of areas in which land, property, etc. was stolen from black people. Let's forget stealing our bodies, stealing our dignity, and all these other things that were stolen from us along the way, our freedom and everything else. Just the land and property alone would require hearings that would last at least a decade, because this is one of the great cosmic crimes of the millennium. There have been few crimes against humanity greater than the one there. In fact, scratch that. There has been no crime against humanity greater than what was done to black people in America and in the Caribbean and other places. There has been no greater crime against humanity. Not that there have been greater. No. There have been no greater crimes against humanity than what was done to black people in America. Do you agree with me? Are you hearing me? If you're hearing me, somebody said facts, just state facts, say facts. If you agree, state facts, because this is where we have to start the conversation. This is where we have to start the conversation. You see, because the Democratic Party, they want to get outraged and go crazy because they claim that Bill Cosby allegedly grabbed some lady's boob or whatever, which there's no proof of that either. Again, but remember, though, the rule is for a black man, you don't need proof. Right. So they want us to get outraged over this lady getting her boob grabbed, for which she was paid about $3 million, for which she never, ever actually confessed. But whatever. Fine. OK. But yet, you know, the greatest crime against humanity ever committed in the history of this earth is kind of getting breezed over. It's getting breezed over. I mean, if you just look at kind of the structure of this, let me just say this. A lot of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus that are now talking reparations, these same people, many of these same people were ignoring the Dr. Claude Andersons when they were talking about reparations for 30, 40 years. These people ain't serious. They ain't ready. They're just not ready. They're just not serious. You know, it's like trying to get Donald Trump to come up to you and admit that he has done some illegal business practices over the years. Donald Trump ain't gonna admit that. If Donald Trump ever said he's gonna admit it, he's lying. He's just telling you what you want to hear. That's what they're doing. They're telling you what you want to hear right now. That's where it is right now. I'm not saying that it can't get serious, but in order to have a serious conversation, you must bring in serious people. You know, the people that were there, most of those people were not serious. Ta-Nehisi Coates, good for him. He wrote a great article. And Danny Glover is a real one. He's one of the few black men in Hollywood who I've always just respected, no matter what. But there are plenty of other experts, black experts on reparations out here who've been doing the damn work for decade after decade. It's starting with Dr. Claude Anderson, but going deeper, who've been doing the work, Ron Daniels and others who've been doing the work for many, many decades, who are not going to be invited to participate in this conversation. And until that day occurs, you're not going to have a serious discussion. It's just not serious. Right now, you know, I'd be nervous if they pass reparations right now. I'd be scared. You know why I'd be nervous? Because they're going to pay you your fucking reparations in Wendy's coupons. Your reparations will come in pairs of Jordans. We'll give everybody one pair of Jordans to say thank you for 400 years of the greatest exploitation in the history of man. And then they're going to move on and say, okay, we're good now, right? They're literally going to try to pay you your reparations in Wendy's coupons or in Happy Meals. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to give you even an ounce or even a fraction, even a tiny fraction of what is actually deserved. And these hearings, if you look at the way these hearings have gone in the past, hearings on Capitol Hill, for the most part, at least the way I've seen them, are designed for spectacle. They are designed to put on a show. And that's what they do to get the black vote. They always put on a damn show. So it's okay to put on the show as long as there's something real after the show. Okay, you can wine and dine, but after we wine and dine, you better deliver whatever it is you plan on delivering after the wine and dine. We best be fucking after we wine and dine, or it was all just for show. Seriously, because at the end of the day, that's what they do with the black community. They love to play around with the black community. They love to give you a show. They love to give you flash without substance, because they know that they will give you flash, you will give them substance. That is what Dr. Claude Anderson refers to as the doctrine of unequal exchange. The doctrine of unequal exchange has been used against black people by people of European descent for the last 500 years. It's where they give you this much, you give them that much. They give you a show, you give them your vote. They give you a little bit of dignity, you give them all your money. They give you mediocre schools, you give them your children. Right? That's all it is. So right now, the reparations hearings, I'm not going to say it's not a good step. I'm not going to say it's a good step in the right direction. Okay, sure, sounds good. Good. All righty then. All righty. Way to go, bud. Yeah. Love it, guy. Love it, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, good. Okay, so you had your hearing. Now what? Now what's going to happen after the hearing? Don't tell me when it's time to vote. Don't tell me when it's time to vote. Oh, well, we need y'all to vote so we can finish the work that we started. That's what they always do. They always do that. The game of politicians is they will tell you what they're about to do next. They can't hardly ever tell you what they just did. They'll always tell you what they're about to do. They're just like a broke ass cousin who borrows money from you, who still owes you money. You ever had a cousin who borrowed money from you, never paid you back? And then they come back and got the nerve to ask for more money. And you're like, but you never paid me back the money you owed me. And then they're like, yeah, but I need to borrow another $200 so I can get to work. And if I get to work, I'm gonna pay you back. I promise you. I need that money. And you're like, I don't know, let me think about it. But then they're owning it, right? The person ain't never called you back. The person where there was blocking your calls, wasn't answering your calls, wasn't answering your texts, nothing, was getting an attitude when you saw them at grandma's house and asked them about your money. Suddenly they're real attentive and they're like, hey, cuz, can you like that Dave Chappelle crackhead scratching their neck? Hey, cuz, can you go ahead and send that money over, man? I need it by 2:00 today. Can you send it back? And you're like, yeah, but you never paid me the money. Pay me my money back, and then I'll loan you some more. Yeah, I told you I need get my car fixed so that I can get to work. Then when I get back to work, then I'm gonna go to. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what a deadbeat does. A deadbeat, whether you're talking about cousin rerun, or you're talking about a politician, a deadbeat loves to tell you what they about to do. They never can tell you what they just did and show you that you are fair and square satisfied with one another before you got to make the next move. You always the one putting yourself out there. So when it comes to these politics, that's what they do. They tell black people, you got to come out here. If you don't vote, you don't count. Rock the vote, y'all. Y'all need to vote. Your ancestors died for you to vote. My ancestors did not die for me to vote. My ancestors just died. My ancestors were killed. My ancestors died for me to avenge their death. They died. Maybe they died for me to be free. Maybe they died for me to get in your ass. But I tell you what, if I call my ancestors up on speed dial right now in heaven, I bet you they would be like, don't you fall for the same bullshit we fell for. Don't you let them play you the way they played us. Don't you let them fool you the way they fooled us. I heard a story just the other day about a black man who's there's thousands of stories like this. This black man told me that his grandfather and his grandfather's brother both owned hundreds and hundreds of acres of land, hundreds of acres, as far as I could see. Well, his grandfather's brother, white guy came, knocked on the door. Hey, Mr. Mitchell, we'd like to talk to you about this land I'm not selling. I told you I'm not selling. I've been telling y'all I'm not selling this land. Well, we just want to come in and talk to you, bud, and just, see if we can work out a deal. Okay, well, come on in. So he's trusting, right? He's like, he's nice. Black people, we trust everybody. So he comes on in the house and he brings, the guy comes in with a couple of white boys. And what he does not know is that they were about to give him an offer that he could not refuse, because that offer came with a bullet in his head right over breakfast. So next thing you know, these people that came, to negotiate, these people that came to talk it out, put a bullet in his skull and killed him, and then they took his land. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with some real gangster shit that has been inflicted upon black people for hundreds of years. There are thousands of stories like this. There are thousands of stories like this. And the fact that they have thousands of stories like this, and we don't even have the political will to avenge even one of them, should be very disturbing to anybody watching all this happen. So I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna bring Dr. Anderson and let Dr. Claude Anderson reiterate his version of the message. He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna break it down historically in a way that almost nobody else can. Certainly nobody on Capitol Hill can break it down this way. Even ta-nehisi Coates. Ta-nehisi did a great job writing that article in the Atlantic. I'm very happy that white people gave him permission to write an article. That's what happens. They give you permission to express your point of view. You know, without the Atlantic, the message wouldn't get out. Well, I'm not going to the Atlantic. I'm not going to ask white liberals for permission to talk about the deaths of my ancestors. I don't give a shit. Atlantic, New York Times, Washington, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. I don't need any of them to give me the approval necessary to tell the honest story about my ancestors. So I'm appreciative. I think it's great that the Atlantic and ta-nehisi partnered to put this article out there. I think it's great that you got some white folks who actually see the light. But at the end of the day, you know, this is a black conversation. This is a real black conversation, a real honest conversation. And this country is not ready to have that conversation. I don't know if y'all saw even Mitch McConnell in the Republican Party. He said that black people don't deserve reparations because he said, after all, you had a black president. He literally feels that because we had a black president, that reparations are not necessary. That's the kind of ignorance you're dealing with. There's a Rasmussen poll. Rasmussen did a poll, and they found that most Americans, I want to say it's about, 66% of Americans are clearly opposed to reparations for slavery. 13% are undecided, and I guess the rest, I don't know. The other 21% say that the reparations should be paid. So about 1 in every 5 Americans actually believes that black people deserve some sort of compensation for 400 years of the worst brutality, rapes, murders, castrations, lynchings, theft in the history of mankind. Like they that's the country that you're dealing with. So what I like about the reparations conversation, the one thing I like about this discussion is that it forces people to show what they are. It forces white people to act white. It forces you. It's like, where do you stand? Here's the line, motherfucker. Like, tell me, which side of the line are you on? Like, you really tell me you're my friend. You know that this happened. It's not like we're debating. This ain't a Bill Cosby case where you have no evidence. We got receipts. Black people come with receipts. Say it. We got receipts. We got receipts on all the wealth that was stolen, the trillions that was stolen. We got receipts on all of that. We got receipts on. So where do you stand on this? Democratic Party, where do you stand on this? Joe Biden, where do you stand on this? But it doesn't matter. Joe Biden, you still can't get our vote until you release all those prisoners of war that you got locked up right now. Remember, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton were deeply connected to the mass incarceration epidemic that led to the destruction of hundreds of thousands of black families all across this country. But yet they want you to feel sad because there's a few families at the border that get separated trying to break into America illegally. I'm not saying that they don't have I don't really give a shit. I honestly, illegal immigration does not bother me. If I see somebody that looks like they might be illegal, I'm not going to try to call, immigration on them. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Good for you. As long as you're cool with me, then we're friends. But at the same time, I can't feel more sympathy for your family than I feel for mine. You know, the problem is not that white people put black people at the back of the bus. The biggest problem for us is that black people put black people at the back of the bus. We put our own needs at the back of the bus. We put our own feelings at the back of the bus. We put our own trauma at the back of the bus because we're so damn strong. We feel like we can carry the weight of the world on our shoulders and not complain about it. We feel like we can walk around with all this damn trauma, black people going off on black people, killing black people, re-traumatizing abusing black people, trying to destroy black people, crabs in a barrel all over the damn place, communities falling apart, damn neighborhoods looking like motherfucking war zones, and we're supposed to just act like that's normal. That's par for the course. I refuse to continue to digest my own inferiority. I'm not going to digest that anymore. That is not a healthy meal, nor is it a tasty meal. It's not something that I will ever do anymore. I'm not going to take that anymore. So if it's unacceptable for you, then it's unacceptable for us. So if you can't come up with a reparations plan that will repair black communities and make them equivalent to white communities, or even better, if you can't come up with a reparations plan that will fund literally 1 million black businesses all throughout the United States, if you can't fund a plan that's going to be in the trillions with a T, And I'm not talking about 1 trillion. I'm talking about trillions, plural. If you ain't got a multi-trillion-dollar plan, then I don't want to hear it. Because I'm telling you, if they give y'all reparations now, they're going to pay you in Wendy's coupons. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to act like, okay, we even, right? Wait a minute. You're telling me we're even, but you still have everything and we still have nothing. How does that work? That's the dilemma that you're running into. But I go back to my last point. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that. Also, if you'd like a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. You can get it totally for free. Also, make sure you subscribe to drboycetv.com. drboycetv.com, 2:15 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday. We have Powernomics Thursday where I bring in Dr. Claude Anderson, and he's never been more relevant to the American discussion than now. I'm not CNN, but we do have a few 100,000 people that we're connected to, and I'm going to make sure Dr. Anderson's message gets pushed far and wide as far as it'll go. Also, don't forget, guys, the All Black National Convention is happening the weekend of September 27th in Houston, Texas. So go ahead and make your travel arrangements. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That is a Black family reunion that is built on authentic Black empowerment, that's built on Powernomics, that's built on us building our community. So we'll have panels on on the state of Black men, Black women, Black love and relationships, Black politics, and of course, Black economics. There are training sessions on investing, networking sessions, all different kinds of stuff. It's going to be really awesome. So feel free to check it out, allblacknationalconvention.com. And of course, you guys know I'm coming to Chicago and New Orleans in the next few weeks. That's drboycechicago.com and drboyceneworleans.com. Let me make my final point on this reparations thing. My whole position on reparations is that I believe that obviously I've made it clear that we deserve reparations. I don't think anybody in their right mind could say Black people don't deserve reparations. I saw some Negro up there trying to explain why Black people don't deserve reparations. He ain't nothing but a puppet for the Republican Party. Any of the Negro puppets, pretty much should be nullified, because he's a puppet. He's not a real boy. Like Pinocchio was trying to be a real boy. He's not a real boy. He's certainly ain't a real man. He's a real puppet. So whatever that Negro was that was up there talking about Black people don't deserve reparations, he was pursuing a political agenda. Unfortunately, he doesn't know himself well enough to know that he's just basically a hired gun to push a white supremacist agenda. Racism is far more effective when the racist has a black face, right? So if you deliver it in blackface, when you deliver racism in blackface, then that makes it far more effective. That makes it stick a little bit better, and that's what allows you to get your message across to the people. So this poor guy is a reflection of one important thing that Black people have to understand, is that this is what happens when you let your oppressors educate your children. When your oppressors educate your children, they don't come out sounding like Black people. They come out sounding like white people. They don't come out sounding like people from our community. They come out sounding like white liberals, or they come out sounding like white Republicans. That's what they do. And because white folks, unlike you guys, which is what you're going to do in this generation, though, you're going to do this. You're going to catch up. You're just not there yet. What white folks do is they build institutions around their ideologies. They have institutions that sustain and support the belief systems that they want to perpetuate throughout the world. Hollywood is an institution that perpetuates specific ideologies, specific agendas that are linked to those who built and run Hollywood. That's why I tell you guys in the Black Business School and other places to go read the book, How the Jews Invented Hollywood. It's written by a Jewish man. It wasn't anti-Semitic, none of that. I want to make sure that's clear before we get into this, because I'm not in here trying to hate nobody. I'm in here trying to teach you how to compete. Black love is not white hatred. Please say that after. Repeat that after me, right? Black love is not white hatred. Black love is not white hate. You don't have to hate other people in order to love yourself. So just so you know, if you're looking for hatred, I'm not here to deliver that, because hatred takes too much energy. I ain't got time for that. It takes a lot. All my energy that I have is taken loving and building for my people. I can't spend my energy hating on white folks. I can't spend my energy hating on the Republicans. I can't spend my energy hating on ridiculous Negro naysayers out here who try to disrupt what we're trying to do. I can't spend my energy doing that, because all my energy is going to be taken loving Black people and building for Black people. That's what we need to do. So when you talk about building for the community, first thing you got to do is you got to go get your children out of captivity. They have kidnapped your children because they've convinced you that the first thing you have to do as a Black person is hand your child over to other communities to educate them. And then your children come back speaking all this gibberish and literally lining up as little puppets for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. And they think they're being Black by pushing Black people to act like white people. And then they come back and they're all frustrated and mad, like, oh, I applied for a job at such and such a company and I can't get that job because I'm Black and I'm a victim and this really stinks. Well, they need to go back and listen to Uncle Joe who's the OG, who understands what racism really looks like, and who can tell them, like, no, I run that repair shop down the street. That is my business. That's a Black-owned business, and that's where you need to be, boy. You think you're better than us because you went off to Yale, you went off to Stanford, and you learned how to work for a white man. What you need to do is learn how to come back and work for yourself or work with your community. That's where real strength lies. That's what real communities look like. So Black people got to go back to the basics. We got to go to the basics. We literally have to drop a bomb on our whole reality. Just literally just blow it up and start from the basics. First thing, educate our own children. 2, create our own jobs, create an army of entrepreneurs and investors who are going to bring wealth into the community so that we can have institutions, so we can build schools when we want to build them. We can build businesses when we want to build them. 3, support Black businesses. Bring that money back to your hood. Don't spend more money with them than you spend with your own. Spend more money with your own than you spend with them. You give everybody else your best, and then you give Black people the crumbs. No, you should be giving Black people your best and give everybody else the crumbs. And what that does is that's a self-made reparations package, because can't nobody give Black people reparations better than Black people can. If y'all just divert it, like y'all want to divert the congressional resources toward, Black initiatives or whatever, and maybe they'll do that. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I just don't see any evidence of that. Well, how about we divert some of that 1.3 trillion that we're handing over and divert that back to the hood, divert that back to the community, divert that back to Black businesses? How about we start with that? Right? How about we start with more conscious investing, conscious spending in our own community so that we can build the wealth that we deserve? I'm not trying to say that you're wrong if you're out fighting for reparations. Fine, go fight for it. I'll vote. If you support a reparations bill, you might get my vote, whatever. But at the end of the day, the best reparations package for Black people is going to come from Black people, because right now, those people on Capitol Hill are going to give you your reparations in Wendy's coupons, in McDonald's gift certificates, in pairs of Air Jordans. That's what in Beyonce tickets. They're going to get reparations in Beyonce tickets because they're like, well, the Negroes like entertainment, so let's give them all free Beyonce tickets for a couple of years. They're literally going to give you reparations in a way that's going to be ridiculous, to the point where by getting what you want, you literally will be in a weaker position than you're in when they didn't even engage with you. If you ain't going to come correct with reparations, don't even talk to me about it, because I'm a financial expert. I have a PhD in finance. Y'all know that, because I repeat that, and I'm glad to repeat that, because I'm a Black man who was in school till I was 31 years old, and I busted my ass next to the smartest Russian, Chinese, and European students to get this PhD. So I'm going to use the damn thing, and I can tell you, as a financial expert, I can tell you that the numbers that would be required for them to truly have a meaningful reparations package are out of this freaking world. And you're dealing with a country that is so jacked up financially that they can't even pay their debts. Do you understand that the federal debt is so high that they'll never repay it? Do you know what's going to happen one day? Eventually, they're going to default on the debt. And then at that point, that's when you start to see economic Armageddon. That's when you start seeing the value of your dollar starting to drop off. That's when you start seeing the treasury bill market going crazy. That's when you start seeing certain things happening with the stock market. So just be real. Just be real. You're not just going back and trying to get a repayment from somebody who ain't really got the money like that, but you're also trying to get repayment from people who are incredibly reluctant to even pay you. So not only do they not want to pay you, but they ain't even really got the money. Even if they wanted to pay, even if they had the political will, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd do it. They don't have enough money to fix the infrastructure in this country. That's why when I went to China, the infrastructure was so much better. They have bullet trains and better roads and nice bridges. In the U.S., there's a bridge near my house that literally says on the bridge that this bridge is in such disrepair that you must know that you are riding across this bridge at your own risk. 100,000 or 50,000 people cross this bridge every day, and they literally put a warning sign on the bridge saying, we can't get federal funding to fix this bridge, so this bridge is going to fall at any moment. Just make sure you know that before you cross this motherfucker. Like, seriously, like it's real out here. So that's my analysis on it. I'm done. I'm not going to talk no more about it. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that. Also, make sure you subscribe, drboycetv.com. That's drboycetv.com. If you want to learn how to invest, we have a free training on how to buy your first share of stock. A lot of you guys know I talk about investing on the blackfinancialchannel.com. We talk about investing in the financial markets all day. So I want you to learn about this stuff. So feel free to go to blackmoney100.com, blackmoney100, blackmoney100.com. There's a free training on how to buy your first share of stock. And if you want to know about the Black Business School, I see somebody, James is here asking about the Black Business School. Go look it up. We have 80,000 students. It's designed to be a low-cost, high-quality, culturally relevant alternative to a college education. So we got a bunch of my friends who are former college professors and lawyers and business owners and investors, and we came together and we said we're going to teach our own people. So feel free to join us. Most of our programs don't cost very much at all, and it's better than college, because I was a college professor for many years, and I know that college was not really built for Black people. It's actually built for student loans. That's pretty much what college gives you. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you what you actually know to build the community. We're in a rebuilding process. This is a Marshall Plan for our community, and we're going to have to be the ones that are going to do the heavy digging. That's just the reality of it. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Don't forget, I'll be in Chicago on the 28th of July. That's drboycechicago.com. You can join that investing seminar if you'd like. drboyceneworleans.com. I'll be in New Orleans next week. Also, the All Black National Convention is at allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Thanks for listening. Have a good day, and I hope you get those reparations. Those Wendy's coupons are gonna be good, ain't they? I'll see y'all later. Take care. Peace.